Hey, welcome back to the Hoops Family Network, and today's video is going to be a family vlog, so stay tuned for this important message. And if you are new here, make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button, and welcome to the Hoops Family Network. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your awesome and wonderful support. You guys are all wonderful, and I can't wait to have many more of you. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and now starting on Saturdays as well. So we post 4 times a week, and you want to get that notification in so you don't miss out. And on top of that, make sure you like this video and comment down below. Genuine comments help me come back to you and show some love to you as well. So thank you. It helps remind me to come back to you. So, let's get started with this video. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Play. They're splashing. Come here. Can you say hi?
And here we have the room tour where we're staying, which is Comfort Inn, Splash Harbor in Bellvue, Ohio. Pretty much like a typical hotel room. You walk in, got a closet over here. It's got a safe up there. On one side, it's got the iron board and iron. You also get a full-size mirror here as well. And to the right is the bathroom. Pretty big sink and typical size bathtub with shower. And as you come in, you get your normal 2 queen-size beds with the center stand, TV, mini fridge, microwave, another chair, and then since we're on the 2nd floor, you can see that it's a little higher up. There's some stuff around as well, and that's pretty much the room tour. So we'll catch you guys later.
So, all the fun aside, we've got an important message here. When we went over to the hotel, which first, if you did not get to hear this story on my live last night, my live the other night on Wednesday, I'm going to link that in a card up here. And that way it'll be up here or up here. But I'm going to link that so you can watch that as well. That has the full detailed story of what I'm about to talk to you about. And a lot of people are coming here because they heard on Wednesdays live about this. So, we went to go have dinner, and my husband quit talking, and all of a sudden, my son kept asking him, Daddy, can I have more French fries? And he wasn't answering him. So my son thought, he was mad at him. So he got all upset. So I'm like, hey, your son's talking to you. And I thought he was mad at me, and he wasn't. I found out he was unconscious, and he just was not responding. So he ended up having a diabetic episode, and his sugar dropped so low, he was unconscious. The guy around me was asking if he can help, if everything was okay, and I explained to him that he has been diabetic since he was 6, and so we know his sugar's low. I'm like, his sugar's either low or high, because, in the state of rage and panic, I'm not sure what to do. So I'm like, okay, well, he passed out. I think his sugar's low. So I took a sugar packet and dumped it in his mouth. And being unconscious, he's not aware of what he's doing. He smacked it out of my hand. And my son's like, but Daddy, why don't you want any sugar? And he's crying. And I'm like, here. So I moved him to the table next to us to eat and not be able to see any of this. And so he sat there and he kept talking to me, which was nice because, I felt so alone in such an important, an important thing I'm going through. So, I told the waitress to call an ambulance, and so they wanted to talk to me, but I didn't want to go around the corner and leave my son alone. So they helped me out by, they kept an eye on him as well, and while the guy was with him. And he came over to me and he's like, while I was on the phone with the ambulance, and they're like, or the guy told me he is able to shake his head, so he's hearing us, so he's coherent enough, but he cannot make out any words. So I knew he was coming back, but I didn't know how severe this was. So the ambulance, they came, they took his sugar, it was 87, and they told me he was out of the danger zone. They said that if I had not have done what I had done, he could have died. And it was life-threatening. And, which also, after I gave him the sugar packet and I moved my son, I gave him, we had styrofoam cups about that big. And I gave him my whole styrofoam cup of Pepsi. And that still, it was enough to jumpstart him, but the ambulance told me to give him one more of that, so he would have enough to reboot. So I saved my husband's life. So I saved my husband's life. Think about that. Let that process through your head. You don't think that you go on a family trip and the same week as his birthday, you're saving his life. 30 years old, you saved his life. I had no idea what I was doing. I was under pressure. My thing was I need to keep him okay, but I also needed to make sure our son was okay. I can't be in two places at once. It was terrifying. But if you know the signs and the symptoms to look out for, you could do the same thing as well. This video today is to make awareness of what to look out for and what to do in case of an emergency, just like this one, because you don't know when you're going to be using it. I definitely did not think I was going to be saving a life. On top, especially being my husband. We've only been married 3 going on 4 years. And he's only 30. He just turned 31 on yesterday. On October 30th. So, it's a huge deal. He's so young. So, you never know. The table next to you could be going through the same thing. You never know when you're going to need it. And nowadays it seems like a lot of grandparents have it. There's type 1 where you have it your whole childhood. So, it's more common now, but people don't know what to look for and for what to do. So 1, you want to look for perspiration. Look for sweat. If you see sweat dripping down their face, they're really clammy. I know that's one of the first signs. On top of spacing out. He was spacing out at first, and I thought he was just daydreaming or thinking. But when I smacked him a couple times, and that didn't knock him back, that I was talking to him, that was a big red flag. So, get their attention. Any way you can. Pat them. Put your hand in front of their face. If they're not responding that way, you're losing them. And then the sweat. The first thing to do, you gotta get sugar in them because their sugar is low. So that's why I opened up the sugar packet and dumped it in. But he swatted it away, so I didn't know how much he got. The next step was giving him the Pepsi. And he was drinking from the straw like nothing had ever happened. His body knew he needed it. So all I had to do was put the straw up. And he just sucked. And he sucked down that whole drink. And then another option too is Walmart makes these gel packs that you can keep on you, which we've been talking about getting and then never had, and now it's almost going to be a must. They're just a gel packet, and that way they can't choke, but it'll dissolve on the inside of their mouth and get the sugar to them. That is what the ambulance told me as well. And they told me that if I did not move as quick as I did, he would have went into a seizure and probably had died. So they kept telling me to make him comfortable, but he was still sitting at the table, so he was still good. Our food had came and he had 4 French fries. So I was thinking, though, if his body was so weak, eating the 4 French fries should have helped, but apparently it didn't seem to work quick enough. On top of, so yes, the gel packets, sugar packets, Pepsi. I know my grandmother told me if her sugar's low, she always goes for a Pepsi. That was the first thing I had that I can give to him. So, yeah, something with sugar he could drink. I think I've heard orange juice is good too. And the gel packets. That's about it, I believe. But yes, the signs. Look for them spacing out. That's usually a first sign. The spacing out, the sweating, and then the next step would have been the seizure. And when you know they're diabetic, you know what you can look out for. But when you start seeing these things, you know it's time to act. So yes, that is our important message, because I feel like everybody needs to be aware of this. You don't know, you could be saving somebody's life. So, I thank you for watching this video. This little family trip was not all bad, but it wasn't, the best trip of our life either. So, thank you. I really appreciate you watching this. This has some really great information in it, and I'm going to link that video for you guys, so that way you guys could get to see the live and see between my husband and I retelling the story, so you could get all the details. So, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.